So I went into this episode sad that it was Rick's final episode, but I just came out of it so happy, and the most I've ever been excited for The Walking Dead. Like seriously, that was a crazy twist at the end, and I'm very excited to talk about it. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and today I'm here to do my review of The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 5, What Comes After. And I just realized I gave a bit of a spoiler in the beginning, so hopefully if you click on the video, you've seen the episode and you're a fan of The Walking Dead, and if you are, be sure to subscribe for daily videos. But let's get started. I'm gonna jump right to the ending and then we'll get into the beginning, but dude, that ending was perfect. It even played out better than I expected it to happen, but the helicopter did save Rick. And that whole ending with the music playing, Space Jam, the same song from the pilot, I thought that was a beautiful ending, man. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I really thought Rick died when he shot that dynamite, but dude, I'm so happy that helicopter came and saved him. And I thought that was the perfect ending for Rick. And then the real ending, cause I didn't expect us to get Magna and Luke and all them in this episode. I thought that would be next episode. But I thought that ending was really good too, because we got that grown Judith, and I don't know anybody who's gonna watch this episode and not want to come back for the next one. Definitely a smart move by AMC by putting that in there, because now fans are gonna definitely come back and watch. And that scene was just so badass, you know, putting on the sheriff's hat, killing those walkers. It could not have been more badass and legacy, you know, carrying right there. So definitely an epic ending. And I'm excited to see older Judith, because she's almost like the same age as Carl now when the apocalypse started. So that's going to be really cool to see that happening. A little bit younger, but still, really cool to see an older version of Judith now. But let's go back to the beginning of the episode and talk about how Rick got out of that situation he was in from last episode. And that was such a, badass way to get out. And I mean, it was really like gruesome, and it really made me like kind of cringe too, but that was an epic way to get out. And obviously the rest of the episode was a lot of Rick hallucinating and having that whole dream sequence. So that's the next thing I want to talk about, starting off with the Shane one. Now this is the only negative thing I gotta say, and that is the green screen that was around Rick and Shane in that scene they were together. That's the only negative thing I have to say. It's not even that big of a deal, because the actual scene definitely overshadowed that. And Shane was absolutely hilarious in this scene when he said like, "How's my girl doing?" And I didn't expect him to go down the way they did, and I didn't expect the dialogue is what I'm trying to say. Like, I didn't expect Shane to say, and I love that he said it though. I loved how he said that, how he brought up Joe when Rick bit his neck out, and then also Gareth when, you know, Rick absolutely destroyed Gareth. I loved how he brought that up and said, "That's who I saw in you, that's who I wanted you to become," because that's literally what the fan base always says, you know, like Rick became what Shane wanted him to become. And it's true, and I love how Shane actually said that, and it was a great ending. I also liked how Rick kind of said that he was sorry for what he did, because that was like an ending that I didn't expect us to get, but I'm happy that closure happened. Now obviously it was a dream, it wasn't real, but just seeing the characters there and seeing the interaction, I was still really happy with it. But let's move on and talk about Herschel, because this one was sad, especially since Scott Wilson only passed away a couple weeks ago. So it was definitely sad to see this scene. And what they were saying was sad also, but it was also such a beautiful scene. Like, just the cinematography in the scene and how everything looked was so beautiful, and it really reminded us how nice and beautiful the farm really looked like. I also liked when Rick and Herschel were talking and Rick said, "I'm tired," because that line is like very powerful, because it kind of just made me think like not just Rick, but Andrew Lincoln, like he's been going at this for 9 years, and just that line and looking back at everything that Rick has been through, I don't know, just it's something small, but just those words, "I'm tired," it's just something, it got to me, and I did like that line. But I did like this whole interaction between Rick and Herschel and talking about what Maggie lost, and that hug was so sweet and warm, and it was just a beautiful scene, man. I really did like it. And it was so cool to see Rick open that door from the hospital, the "Don't Open Dead Inside" door. Well, in this one it said "Don't Open Dead Outside." But yeah, it was so cool to see him open that, and then we saw everybody there, which was really trippy. Like even characters who aren't dead, we saw them there. But it was a really cool scene though. I did like it. And then Sasha got up, and I did like that line that Sasha said, "We don't die," because that's also what Michonne said later on, and I'll get to that in a second because that was really sad. Rick and Michonne's like final interaction. I also loved how Sasha said, "It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about all of us." Like, so many good lines in this episode, and you know, I'm like 5 minutes into this review, and all I've been saying is positive stuff. So yeah, I'm sure you can assume that, in my opinion, this is like one of the best episodes, if not the best episode of The Walking Dead ever. Like, it is a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. Stuff really started getting sad after, you know, when Rick was on the bridge and he was hallucinating, but everybody came and saved him. And that final thing between him and Michonne, and he woke up and he was in the middle of the bridge by himself. That's when stuff started getting really sad, especially since Rick and Michonne, like, they never really said a final goodbye, even though it was in the dream. It still counted, I guess, because it was the dream sequence, but it was just really heartbreaking when he woke up and he was all by himself. And I did like how Daryl saved Rick, kind of like the walker was coming at Rick and Daryl shot him all the way on the other side, and then Maggie shot the other walker. And I liked how it was those two characters who did it, because those two were the ones who were having problems with Rick, and essentially they saved his life. Well, I mean, Jadis really saved his life, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I did like how those two in the final moments, you know, they killed walkers that are about to get Rick. But let's talk about that final stand, man. Rick was a badass when he shot. I mean, if he died there, I don't know, it's hard to think now, but that was a good way to go out. I'm not gonna lie, like, him shooting it, that's a badass way to go out. I mean, I'm happy he didn't die, but I'm saying that was a really good way to go out. You know, him shooting the dynamite and the bridge exploding, and he saved everybody. I did like that, and for a second there I thought he did die, because I was hiding from spoilers all week. I avoided so many comment section. I was just really trying to avoid spoilers this week, and I'm happy I did, because that ending, that twist, man, I didn't see that coming. I mean I was expecting it to happen. I mean, I wanted it to happen, but I didn't think it was gonna happen because it was so late in the episode, and I really thought Rick died. But let's not forget Daryl crying, man. Holy shit, that broke my heart. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that made me tear up. And then Michonne, you know, Carol and Maggie were holding her back. That was just like so heartbreaking. Like, that's why I really thought Rick died then, because of how emotional that was. I was like, yup, this man is really gone. But then it came back from a commercial break, and we got back to Jadis' scene, and I was like, holy shit, Rick actually might live. And when Jadis saw Rick laying there, and I cannot tell you how happy I was when Jadis saw Rick laying there, and she called the helicopter and said, please save this guy, he saved my life. Words cannot explain how happy I was as a Walking Dead fan and as a Rick fan. Like, I was so happy they went down that path. And in the ending, when Rick kind of woke up and he saw Jadis, and Jadis said, I'm gonna save you, and then music started playing from the pilot. I believe the song is called Space Jam, and it played at the end of the episode 1 pilot. Man, that's like the perfect ending. Everything came full circle. Even the helicopter, because Rick saw a helicopter in Atlanta. Like, dude, that could not have been more perfect than it was. Like, I'm so happy. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite episodes of The Walking Dead ever. I mean, I still gotta think about it and what spot I want it in. It's definitely a top 5. Like, it was a really good episode. But I have a lot more videos coming out, so if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, be sure to subscribe. I have a video coming out about the Rick Grimes movies. They've just announced Rick Grimes is gonna be in AMC movies. Like, I think it's gonna be like a trilogy or something. That is absolutely amazing. I got a video on that. I have a video talking about the sneak peeks and promos for the next 3 episodes, and then I have a Rick Grimes tribute that I've been working on. I'm very excited to share that with you guys. But I am gonna wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. In the comments down below, leave your thoughts, leave your reviews, leave all your thoughts, opinions, everything you have about Rick Grimes, because it was a crazy ending, and I'd love to hear from you guys. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.